Hey everyone, welcome back to Star Wars Galaxy Heroes Day by Day. We got stuff to talk about. So today is it's the 27th now, but before I left for the gig, I watched Arnold do a video talking about how there are three new characters coming. The raid is coming on the 10th, the 2nd, so you will have, the raid will be here after you see this video. And Relic 10 is coming, or at least they think the Relic 10 is coming. And what I'm going to talk about today is, as we continue on, is something that I doubt will have come to fruition by the time you see this video, but I could be wrong. And that is, what if that's not all? What if that's not all? What do I mean by that? I'm glad you asked. What if that's just the tip of the spear, shall we say? Okay. I'm just gonna put some what ifs out there. And maybe they come, maybe they happen, maybe they don't. And it will all revolve around stuff that we've talked about many times on this channel. Or that I've talked about many times on this channel. Stuff I talked about on the channel. So, okay. So we just got these raid requirements 2 weeks ago at this point. I mean, we got them, or was it 2 weeks ago? Maybe it was like last week, 10 days ago. I don't know. But the fact that we're getting the raid on July 2nd, which of course we know that we already have this by the time you're watching this. But just to know that the raid is already here on July 2nd, 2 weeks after. How long did we have? I talked about this previously. How long do we have built up between the time that they announced the indoor raid and the requirements for the indoor raid? Not the indoor raid, but the requirements for the indoor raid. And the indoor raid came out. I feel like it was maybe 3 months. It probably wasn't that long, but that's just. But I know it was. I'm for sure that it was longer. I feel like it was probably at least 6 weeks, maybe longer. And the reason for that is because these are a lot of people have these characters. A lot of people have these characters. They had Iden Versio. They had the troopers by a large part. A lot of people had Ewoks because you needed them for 3PO. If you had 3PO, he was also a raid character. You had two outliers in Rex and Hera, which, Rex is a Leia requirement, but Hera was not. And then you have Akbar, who was there, of course. You had Han and Chewie, of course, who were there. But, once again, you have Akbar. You probably, because he's a fleet commander. You have Han and Chewie if you have CLS. Lando, of course. Wedge and Biggs, of course, because they were there. Piet, talked about troopers. Moff Gideon is, I don't know. But yeah, a lot of that just made sense. And then, we knew. And so you had a lot of those characters because your first team was troopers. And so you at least had the team of troopers that you could run with. And then, maybe hopefully you had Home One. Hopefully you had all this stuff. Well, with the Indoor raid, you've got a bunch of crap Jedi, which were in the movie, but nobody had. But nobody has. That's the reason why we have the Lightspeed bundle. You have a bunch of characters that they just put in the game, like much more than they did last time. But you have Separatists that, if you're somebody like me, you don't have Separatists yet. You don't have, if you're someone like me, you probably have Mace. You probably have Qui-Gon, Yoda, and that's honestly it. You definitely don't have any of these Gungans. I know, aced out for Jar Jar's. What great! If you bought into Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, Master Qui-Gon, Padawan, Obi-Wan, you're in good shape. Maybe if you got a conquest unit in Padme, if you went all in for the Gungans. But other than this, they're pretty crap. And the fact that they only gave us, a few weeks to get these characters up, get these prepared, what they did is they introduced a pressure point. A $20 where they're like, hey, we'll give you the Lightspeed bundle for $20. You can have these 5 characters, which there's a high likelihood that you have one of them at high level. But the other 4, you probably don't. And they're pretty crap. But because we're putting out this raid this soon, this is this is pressure point. And now I'm going to go into more crazy territory. What if that's not the only pressure point? Okay, so we've been waiting for this whole Road Ahead, which is supposed to come out in July. Whether it comes out, next week, which is 4th of July week, which I'm thinking not. So I'm thinking the week of the 10th, the following week. But it could be sooner because we've had these there's these fleet packs that are allegedly in the data mine. And now there's the character packs in the data mine. And the question I have for you is, what if on top of this raid, on top of Relic 10, they're going to give us a new fleet and a GL at the same time. So we're getting a new raid, Relic 10, GL, capital ship. Possible, right? It's possible. Is it likely? I don't know. Like I said, I've only been playing this game for 16 months. But they are sunsetting my game, Disney Sorcerer's Arena here next month. I can't remember if it's the end of this month or the end of the next month. But they're sunsetting it. All those people got to go somewhere. And is it possible when they announced the sunset of the game that they already had all this planned out, and that the people that were working on Sorcerer's Arena have just now gone over to Capital Games, and they're like, oh, hey, this is what we're doing? Is it possible that's the reason, as Arnold said in the video, that we haven't gotten a new character in a month? Is because they're getting ready to just unload everything on us? Now we have, now as far as new characters, people, Arnold's like, it's going to be Ahsoka. It's going to be Ahsoka stuff. Is it? Ships wise, we have basically the consistency is it either has to be one of two things. I don't think that it's going to be the trench ship. It could be. It doesn't make sense. I think it needs to be light side. If it's light side, then it can be one of two things. It can be what the gerbil floated a couple weeks ago, where it's just new ships for Mace's fleet for the endurance, to make the endurance better, or it can be the gerbil original calculus of the Resolute, where we get pilots and Jedi ships for the Resolute using gas, which is where, if I'm honest, that's what I'm leaning towards. That I think would be compelling. Or it could be the new theory is it could be either Trench, of course, or the Trade Federation ship, which would be piloted by Newt Gunray. Maybe. I don't know. I have no idea how likely any of that is. It's at least some kind of viable. I don't know on what level, but it's definitely interesting. Then we also have the consideration of the GL. If no indication who this is, it could be Chancellor Palpatine. If we're still in Phantom Menace territory, it could be Darth Tyrannus. It could be Grand Admiral Thrawn. It could be Valkorion. I don't know. I would love if it was Vishnu or Valkorion, or what do you want to call him, for the uninitiated among you. That would be the Eternal Emperor from the Old Republic, which is a game that all of you should definitely play. By the way, we're just grabbing raid characters in here just to make us a little bit closer. I'm not going to buy the pack in here, by the way, in this account, the Lightspeed bundle. I did buy it on one account, but not this one. And I might buy it on another one, but once again, not this one. But yeah, what if it's all four of those? New raid, Rogue 10, new fleet, or better fleet, depending, and then GL. What if it's all four of those? I think if you're asking me how likely I would say that is, I feel like the likelihood that it's either a GL or a fleet is probably 95%. The fact that it's both, I mean, I feel like it's 50-50 that it's both. If it's both, where do you go first? I mean, if it's both, then we have galactic chases. Then we have galactic chases coming for ships for months, for just months. And if it's marquee characters for the raid, that means marquee, you know, three new units. How does that work? Are they going to give us one this month, one next month, one in September, one in I mean, but this month, I mean, July, 1 August, 1 September. Why would they have already announced all of those already? It's possible that they could already know who the marquee characters are for the and they're just announcing them. And they're saying, "Hey, this is who's coming. This is where we're going. This is what you need for the GL." And then 3 new ships for the fleet. Or is it? What if it's both? What if they're using? If they're coming out with new pilots, new ships, and you need the pilots for the new GL, and you need the ships for the new capital ship. That would be. And honestly, if they're coming out with a ship, let's start. And I don't, I think if it's Resolute, I think it's easy. You just give the pilots, you just give ships to Yoda and whoever. But if it's GL, it's it could be Thrawn. If it's Thrawn, it's probably Baylan Skoll, Shinhani, and Morgan Elsbeth are the probably the Marquise. I would guess. I don't know that. Could be Captain Yak. Could be Groot. Could be Captain Pillion. Captain Pilliot. Could be any number of characters. Could be. What if it was and it also could be neither of that. It could be what I think, and it could be. I mean, I do think at some point we're getting into jail, but what if it's marquee characters for the next legendary? And what if it's Crosshair? What if it's whoever else for the Bad Batch? I think that would be awesome. But anyway, I'm just spitballing. I'm just starting to mix it up. I'm just mixing that up. I'm just trying to figure out what makes sense. To me, I think that the GL capital ship, the whole thing, regardless of whether it's a legendary or a GL, and the capital ship and Relic 10 and the raid, I think that just makes a perfect storm of buying frenzy, but at the same time, there's a potential that it could overwhelm people. But stranger things have happened. That's for sure. Anyway, that's all I got. That's all I want to talk about. I'm just gonna sit here and we're gonna grind some stuff to some gear, but that's basically all I had. I was like, saw that video. I'm like, what if it's both? And I've just been sitting on it since I got home, doing my thing, working as fast as I can to get through some of that stuff. And yeah, But anyway, let me know what you think. If you think I'm crazy, if you think I'm nuts, let me know. If you think it's plausible, let me know. And if it turns out that I'm right, feel free to heap praise upon me, because it was just a guess, and why not? Anyway, thank you so much for being here. God bless. Make sure you hold the line. Subscribe if you would be so kind, and I'll see you tomorrow night for no idea what day it is. Anyway, I'll talk to you then. Bye.